At such a young age, you have a vision of where you want to go and what you want to achieve, and sometimes the path's not directly how you pictured it.
To become a world champion, everything's got to line up, and it didn't line up for me, and I couldn't accept that.
I was basing my own self-worth off my results, and I wasn't even making finals at the time, so it was hard for me to look myself in the mirror and remember I was a person before a BMX rider.
Mental health, it's a conversation that we have with ourselves every single day.
I was just this country kid that was so used to camping out of the back of the trailer, turned up to the race at the back of the paddock and having no pressure, just me and my family going to the races, having a good time. And then all of a sudden, I'm under a truck, I'm at the front of the pits, everybody walks past, knows who I am, I've got no idea who anyone is, you know, and I'm expected to win.
Just the pressure from the sport. You know, you have so many people putting money behind you to go and perform, or, you know, be this person on social media that represents the company. So the pressure is through the roof. You know, companies spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on you to go racing. You feel like you need to give results. And as a 16-year-old kid, the reality is you don't really need to give results. The biggest personal challenge for me was breaking into the sport and having to fund so much stuff to get there. You know, to fly overseas, to build a compound, to really pay for it all, to all nest up into one kind of career. The competition pressure, you know, you're a rookie. You got to turn up and do all this stuff, but you've just gone and got yourself into debt.
Coming back from injuries and jumping straight back into it, if it's jumping straight back into a show or straight back into a contest, it's thought in the back of your head, oh, what could go wrong, or I could be back where I started.
Having 2.5 years out of the sport, for me, I had to learn what was my identity behind that Instagram bio. I was no longer that action sport athlete, that 8-time world champion, and for me to have that identity stripped, I had to really go into those dark days and those moments.
I know that some elite athletes struggle with this, is the constant need for external validation. And that could mean standing on the podium holding up a trophy, everyone applauding you. When that doesn't happen, sometimes people do have a tendency to fall into a heap.
You get caught in this character of being just a racer. Nothing else in the world matters, nothing else that goes on around you matters compared to what you do and those results that you keep coming back with.
You can take on all the highs, but you'll have problems down the track. And the guys that are usually at the top of what they're doing are kind of doing it a bit more effortless because they have the right conversations with themselves to get in their own groove.
Don't have an expectation of like, oh, I've been working this hard, I've got to go win this event. Put in the hard work, have fun with it, and see where it goes. Don't expect to get to the top. Like it'll happen if it's meant to happen. The pressure won't be as built up as it seems it is.
I truly believe that you can't win with an unhealthy mindset. You can win with an unhealthy body. Your brain can push you to absolute strengths out there, but if your mindset isn't behind you, you're never going to cross that line first.
Pushing on was to just go and enjoy it and love it. Really, at the end of the day, what are you doing it for? I just woke up and I grabbed all the photos, I smashed them against the wall, like I lost my marbles. And I never accepted that, you know, I felt that dark feeling, which people call depression. You know, I try and hide it, you know, which everyone does, you know, train harder, bang my head against the wall more, but I never really sought help about it.
If you're healthy and you're fit and you're working hard every day, that, you know, that mental health can't touch you. And the thing is that mental health can touch anyone, anywhere.
Even as elite athletes, we're humans too. We all got to remember that it's okay to have bad days.
I always looked at athletes as, you know, they were superheroes. They were invincible. They didn't go through all the downtimes.
You know, they're perceived as macho people or people that are bulletproof, but behind that bulletproof vest, they are real people.
You've just won a championship, what everybody on that starting line is fighting for. But I was miserable. I didn't want to be there. I had no option but to talk. I was in a place where I was shutting down.
It is hard to speak about your mental health, and you don't really want to open up to people.
You know, I had an ego, I didn't want to speak to others. And once I let go of that ego, it helped me with my riding, with my performance.
There's times where I've struggled a lot to open up to people, not something I would go and do straight away. So it's sort of something that I let bubble up until it all builds up, and then I finally just, it's not good for you. You need to get it out, you need to speak about it, and it could do the world good.
Talking to one of your friends is like the best coping mechanism, because they can tell you how they deal with a certain situation and can really, I guess, simplify things. You know, I've spoken to friends and they're like, nah, well, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, that actually makes sense. I didn't think about it like that.
If you talk about it, it goes, it disappears when you talk about it.
You know, break that stigma of like being too tough on the outside to really express what's going on the inside, you know.
Breaking the stigma, I guess, is really just, you know, causing it to not be a taboo subject where people are willing to talk to their friends, family, or whoever about, you know, when they're having problems and when they're not feeling okay, which is, you know, it's fine to not be okay.
To go and get the courage to go see someone, that's probably the hardest challenge.
So anyone that doesn't know Sammy Moore, he is the owner of Fist Handwear, and he is my #1 guy.
He's all about supporting, you know, great ideas, Aussie ideas.
All the guys behind Fist are all there to support each other and support everyone else.
He hit me up for a few years saying, let's do a signature glove.
And yeah, he came back to us with the idea to do a 3-way collab.
The guy that lived under us in the apartment started having a chat to me and telling me what he did, and he was a part of Livin'. Next minute, you know, we're teaming up, and I said, oh, I've got this cool opportunity to create a signature glove, and I'd love to be able to team up with Livin' and raise some awareness to mental health.
I guess a lot of our stuff's, you know, probably borderline silly. So it is cool to, you know, do some cool product with a bit of meaning behind it.
We're pretty privileged to be in the position that we are in the moto industry, and it means a lot to us to be able to give back to that wider community with something like this.
Livin' started in 2013 after we lost a great man, Dwayne Lally, to suicide. Dwayne lived with depression and bipolar for a number of years, and the stigma kept him quiet and prevented him from accessing the wonderful support that's out there.
It's all about it ain't weak to speak, so really making people feel comfortable about speaking about what we're all going through.
Hey man, sit him down, what's going on? Let's talk. It ain't weak to speak. It's really important just to remember, like, everyone's fighting a battle no one knows anything about.
If you exhaust a list of self-care strategies that usually make you feel good about yourself and you're still not feeling great, I encourage everyone to put their hand up and seek support, recognising that it definitely is not weak to speak.
Livin' really means to embody that same persona that you have to have as a champion mindset, but to embody that from the bench. In those moments where life benches you, where sport benches you, and you have to remain that champion.
It's not just anyone, it can be everyone, anywhere, and that means that it's an all of us challenge that we need to face together.
We just really hope to empower, you know, the person that needs that help in that moment. At Livin', we believe with education comes understanding, with understanding comes acceptance, and with acceptance comes hope.
I've had a few close friends that have, not here with me today. and it's just, you sort of wonder what if there was something I could have done? What if there is something, what I could have said? You wonder if that could have changed anything, like in any different way. So yeah, it's definitely not weak to speak. Definitely speak up. Yeah.